Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is May. This is my Makeup 101 series where I go through the entire list of product application of multiple different things. Last time we talked about foundation, this time is concealer, and next time is setting powder. So today we're just going to go ahead and go over some of the application of concealer. I have some examples here of different types of concealers, and I will just show you. So I have everything on my face except for face products and powder because I wanted to do the application of concealer on camera. And don't forget to check out the description box below at the end of this video for ideas and recommendations for things to look at the drugstore for concealers for skin types and purposes. Let's go ahead and get started with concealer. Now I thought that it would be the perfect day to show you how to use concealer after eyeshadow, which is the best time to apply it without any powder on your face. Under or over foundation, it doesn't matter. I have black streaks in this area from doing my smoky eye today. By the way, I'm blind because I'm not wearing contacts today. The allergies outside are absolutely insufferable, so I'm just doing this thing blind. Okay. There are a few different types of concealers. There's cream concealers, liquid concealers, face concealers, under eye concealers, and color correcting concealers. We will not be going over color correction today. That will come in a later video at a later time, not in the Makeup 101 series because I don't think it is technically a Makeup 101 thing. Not everyone uses color correction nor wants to, so I decided that this would not be the series to show it in, but those are the different types of concealing purposes and types. In general, you want to use a lighter concealer under the eyes and a concealer that is exactly flesh tone for over the face. Now, if you're doing very natural makeup, use something that exactly matches your skin tone under the eyes so it doesn't look too heavy. That way, if you don't end up wearing foundation or use very light foundation and your face gets red or stuff happens throughout the day, you don't have this unnatural triangle shape or really bright concealer under the eyes. It all just meshes into your skin and looks like one. Concealer over or under foundation. Now I touched on this slightly, but there's a huge do you put concealer over or under foundation? It does not matter. If you're using a powder foundation and you are using a liquid concealer, of course, put your concealer on under foundation, otherwise the product will definitely grab to the powder foundation, bunch up, look cakey, and really gross. If you're using a liquid or a cream foundation, you can use concealer over or under. I don't think they make powder concealers, but if you do use a powder concealer, use that over top of liquid foundation and over top of powder foundation. But yeah, when you're using a liquid concealer with a liquid or cream face product, it doesn't matter if you apply it under or over. There's benefits to both. If you apply it over, you generally have a better idea of really where you need the most concealing. But if you apply concealer under and you use a really light concealer, applying foundation over top can help not lighten up, but make the concealer match your skin tone a little bit better and look less harsh. And this is the #1 rule with concealer and any cream products: do not put it on top of powder. There are specific types of formulas that can be placed on top of powder, but as a general rule, you want to steer very clear of that. What happens is that the cream grabs onto the little particles of powder, on your face and rolls up with them. So if you've ever mixed flour with eggs to make dough, you know what I'm talking about. It starts to bunch up, make little balls, and it can be a bit of a time trying to get all of the dough together. So that is the analogy I'm using. You do not want to mix flour in with a liquid unless you... That's a really bad analogy, but you know what I'm talking about. There are 3 different types of applications. The applications are about the same as foundation. Now you can use your fingertips, which is the easiest way of application and one of the best in my opinion. You can use a brush. There are tons of concealer brushes on the market. e.l.f. has a little concealer brush for very detailed work that is like a buck. And you can also use a sponge. A sponge is typically everyone's favorite because it helps disperse the product underneath your eye, and I use a sponge for my concealer quite often. Now I am going to be going over all 3 today. I'm going to be demoing how I like to use each one and how you can use each one. Now we're going to use a brush to pick up some product today. I cut open my concealer tube just to get some of the product out because it's not coming out through the squeezy tube anymore. It's all at the top and I can't get it out. So a few different types of concealer tubes. You can have tubes where you take off the lid and you squeeze it down through a tip to free apply it. And then there's also doe foot and sponge tip applicators where you apply directly onto the skin. These are my personal favorites. I really do love using a doe foot applicator or a sponge tip. And a couple of the products I listed below that I know are fabulous use sponge tip and doe foot. There's also brush tip, where it kind of looks like a little paintbrush and you just go from there and it squeezes up through it. Yeah. Alright. So let's go ahead and start with a brush to apply concealer today. I'm using the Beauty Control Extra Help Concealer. I'm going to use Stila Compact for the mirror. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to paint this underneath the eye. This is a little bit not light enough, but I'm going to paint this underneath the eye in a triangle shape. I'm not going to go too far down because I don't want it to be super dramatic. I just want to keep it in the areas where I really do need the brightness and concealing. So this is my favorite way to use a brush to initially apply the concealer. I don't really use it to blend out concealer, although there are some brushes with that purpose. And this is a good concealer because it doesn't set right away, but if you have a concealer that sets right away, you want to go in and blend it out immediately, which I'm going to show you two different types of blending on each eye. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. It's getting lighter as I am blending it out. I've never noticed that before about this thing. Okay. Alright, now I've got those black streaks on my face from my eye makeup covered up. Let's go over the application with the sponge. Now this is what you want to do. You can also use your fingers to apply in that triangle shape, but a brush is my favorite way because, I don't know, it doesn't soak up any product and none of it dries on your hand, and it all soaks up in the brush, so you can end up going around the face to spot conceal like so with the extra foundation in the brush. That's just why I like to use a brush. Okay. The under eyes, I'm going to use fingers on this side and sponge on this side. With the sponge, you just want to do what we did with foundation with the sponge. And if you didn't see that video, that is to tap, tap, tap. And this picks up extra product, makes your concealer go on flawlessly. I like blending some of my concealer over my nose, but that's purely a preference-based thing. And as you can see, that looks really beautiful. Now, if you don't have a sponge, you don't have any desire to get a sponge, and you still want to get a beautiful blend on your foundation concealer, use your ring finger and tap. Now this one takes a little bit longer and you don't pick up as much of the product. It also takes a lot of patience because it's easier to just want to swipe, but that's not good for your under eyes since your under eyes are so delicate. If you do any swiping with your finger to blend out product, do very light tapping, sweeping. If this motion makes any sense to you here, hopefully it does. And if you do any sweeping, make sure it's very light and gentle on your eyes. You want to use your ring finger because this is the gentlest pressure, and because your under eyes are so delicate, you don't want to tug at the lines under your eyes and make wrinkles. And the finger application is actually really good for light concealers. Alright, and then I'm just going to take what's ever left on my finger and I'm going to go around my face and spot conceal. With facial concealers, we're going to go on to that now. You want to do detailed work. You do not want to apply, especially if you have a lighter concealer, it can work to spot conceal, but you want to apply your concealer directly on top of the blemish in question. Here I'm just applying concealer around my nostrils. That doesn't require as much detail work. I will show you some detail work here. There it is. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but I have a little blemish right there. What I want to do is I want to take my product, and you don't want too much, you just want to start building up the product lightly with your concealer lightly. You want to apply directly on top of the blemish in question. You do not want to apply in a wide area unless you're concealing a wide area of blemishes, because this will make your blemish less noticeable. If you apply a even slightly lighter concealer in a wide area around the blemish, not only are you applying too much and it's just going to end in this big light colored patch on your face, you're just highlighting your blemish. You want to conceal your blemish. That is the whole reason why you're applying product in the first place. Don't mind what I'm doing here. This is not essential. This is just using concealer to highlight the face, which there's tons of videos all over the internet about that. Now that we've got all of those different types of applications out of the way, and by the way, you can use a sponge to blend out product on the face with blemishes. You just want to use the most controlled tapping. This honestly works better for wide regions, and your finger works better, or a brush works better to get very detailed spots and blend those out. Alright, now that you're done with your concealer, no matter how quickly it sets down, you always want to set with a powder. We will be going over setting powders in the next video. This is just a homemade version that I use all the time. And I'm just going to set under the eyes with this. There is a technique called baking that you use with under eye concealers, but that's more of an advanced technique and not part of a 101 type of application. Most people don't bake in their normal day-to-day lives. I don't even bake, but I will do a video later on about baking. If any of you are very interested in that and want to see my perspective on it with a person with dry skin, I'd be happy to make that video. Just leave comments down below. Alright, I'm just going to set the rest of my face real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back and here's my finished makeup. I want to quickly go over why all of these different applications are good. I was looking at my notes and realized I didn't cover some of the things that I wanted to cover. Here's all of our different 3 applications, and they are good because the sponge picks up extra product and makes a flawless finish. The brush gives you extra coverage and extra control over what you're doing, and your fingers are easy and you get pretty good coverage when you use them, and it's just real easy to tap underneath the eyes. So that wraps up this Makeup 101 concealer video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Support my channel. Watch my other videos. Stay tuned for my next videos, and I will see you guys later. Bye!